Hello everyone, welcome to this another new video. In this video, I'll try to explain you the ways of typecasting in Python. In Python, we don't specify a type into a variable. We don't specify whether the variable is a string or integer or float or whatever it is. But there may be at times when we want to specify a particular type to a variable. This can be done using casting. Since Python is an object-oriented language, therefore, casting is done using constructor functions. Let's see how we do it. Okay, say x equals to int 1. I'm specifying x to be integer type 1. So you can understand the difference while we are using int. Let's see what happens. I will explain you when there is a difference. Oh, sorry, I need to print it once. Look, print it prints me 1. Let's look something else, say 1.5. In case we don't give int 1.5, x will take the cast of float. That is, x will take a type of float, but we want x to be integer type. So what will happen in this case? So it's simple. Whenever it is forced to take 1.5 as integer, then it will simply ignore the decimal part, that is the part after the point, and just assign 1 to x. Let's see what it does. Look, it does the same thing. It assigns 1 to x. Suppose our function is a string type. Our input is a string type 1. So in that case, if 1 is a string type 1, then x needs to assign it. Let's see what it does. Look, it again takes 1 as an input to x. So what happens if we give other than an integer in a string and try to typecast it to int? Let's see. Say we give abc as a string variable and want to typecast it into int and assign it to x. Okay, this will give me an error since abc is no. Look, it gives me an error that is invalid literal for int. So, why it gives me error? The main reason is abc is not an integer. It's an invalid literal for the integer type. Okay. Now let's look at the other type. That is, suppose we want to convert it to float. Float, say 1.256. Suppose the string type 1.256, we want to convert it to float. Look what happened. It assigns 1.256 to s. Again, if we write something, print. In my last video, I've shown you how to do this. I'm checking the type of x now so that you can see. So I'm doing this. It shows me class float. It is assigning a string type value, which is a float type. It is assigning a string type value to x by typecasting it to float and making x float type variable. Okay. Now let's look what happens if we give an integer to a float. Suppose we gave 1. So 1 is an integer. Okay, 1, you can say 1 is also float. So there is a difference. Since it don't contain any decimal part, so it's integer type value. 1 is an integer type. So what happens if we assign it to x? Look, it takes 1.0. Why 1.0? It takes that the decimal part is 0. Okay. Again, if we give something like 1.25 and run it, you can see it's assigned the exact value. Also remember, if we are typecasting something from int to float, there is no data loss. But in case if you are typecasting something from float to int, there are chances of data loss. Like int, if we give something like int 1.25, then there is a data loss, that is, it ignores this 0.25. Remember, it ignores this 0.25 and simply assigns 1 to this. Look, in the next part, let's see what happens to string. String 1.25. So run it. Sorry, there is nothing called string, it's str. When you run it, you can see it's 1.25. So let's check the type of x. Look, it says that the type is a string type x. That is, 1.25 is acting as a string type variable. It's not a float, or it's not a float type variable. Okay. Next converts integer. So whenever we convert integer, it remains the same. It simply takes that integer as a string, and whenever we convert a string to a string, you know what it does? It simply takes string as a value. So there is no changes in that case. So that's all for this video. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hope to see you soon in my next video. Thank you. My channel for regular similar videos. Also press that bell icon so that you get notified whenever a new video is uploaded. Don't forget to like this video and share it with all of your friends.